Hello everyone, welcome to this next lecture that is based on MATLAB programming. Okay, there are a lot of interesting things that actually we are going to discuss in this particular lecture, and it's going to be very important not only for the assignments, but it's also important for you to learn the MATLAB language. If you are going, I'm pretty sure that you're going to use it in your career because it's a very famous programming language. Okay. So till now what we were doing here is we were entering all the commands in the command window like 2 plus 3 and stuff. But in real life, if you see, you won't be entering commands in command window. What actually you'll be doing is you'll be creating a .m file or a script file. Okay. So how you are going to create a script file? So if you can see here in the menu bar, the very first option it says blank script. Okay. So when you click on this option, it will create a script. Okay, it will open the editor, it will create a script. So before we start doing anything, the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to save this file. Okay, and the extension of this file is going to be .m. So sometimes it's called as .m file. So let us name this file as demo at present. So I'm just naming this as demo. So if you can see here on the tab it says demo. Okay, so you can open multiple files here. That is one good thing about MATLAB here, about the GUI. But at present we are not going to use a lot of tab, just we are going to use one tab. So let us say that this is the demo file. Okay, so the very first thing, whenever you are going to write your MATLAB code, the very first thing that you are going to write is going to be the details of the program, like what is the program about and what are the inputs to the program, also known as input arguments, and what is the output of the program. So that you can do with the help of this thing, that is um, a percentage sign. So whenever you want to add a comment, you can use a percentage sign. So you can write down that you can give detail about the program. So this is a demo program. So this is just for the person who is looking at the code, and if he wants to know additional detail about the code, this is where you're going to write the detail. So uh, this is not going to get executed because it's just a comment, just a message. So you can write down this is a demo program. Okay, so this is going to be the very first thing. The next very important thing that you're going to do is you're going to write down CLC. Now I hope you all know what is CLC because you have already used it. It's just to clear the screen, because there will be a lot of situation where your command window will be cluttered with a lot of outputs. So whenever you run this code, everything will get cleared. Okay, then the next thing is going to be you're going to write down clear all. So whenever you start your program, this is the basic minimum thing that you're going to do. Okay, and then you are going to start writing down your actual code. So I hope everybody here knows clear all, because that is what we have already discussed, that it clears all the variables. Okay, because this is very important, because some variables will be initialized before you run the program, which is not going to be good. Okay, you'll understand it later when you actually do more serious programming. So this is the two basic things you're going to always keep at the start of your MATLAB script. Okay, then you're going to write down bunch of statements. Okay, or the script or the program, the actual program. So let us start with the input and output. Okay, now there will be a lot of situation where you'll have to give the input to the program, or you have to ask the user of the program for input to the program. Okay, and there will be again a lot of situation where you'll have to display the message or display uh, the state of the program. Okay, so that you can do with the help of uh, two inbuilt function. That one is input. Okay, this is one inbuilt function in MATLAB that you are going to use. Okay, and the other function is disp, disp, display. Okay, so input, obviously, as the name suggests, if you want to input something to the program, you're going to use input, or if you want to take a user input, you're going to use this input. And the if you want to display something, you're going to use disp. Okay. Now let us take a small example where we are going to take an input from the user and we are going to display that particular output. Let us say I take one variable m, okay, and I am going to input. I'm going to take the input from the user. Okay, so the input says please enter a number. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are taking the input from the user and we are saying just please enter a number, and once the user enters the number, that number you are going to store it in this variable m. Okay, and then let us display the value. So for displaying the value, what you're going to use is we are going to use disp function, and you're going to say the entered number is, okay, so if you want to display that number, you'll have to use another display function, disp. And what is that variable? Obviously it is m. So basically what you're doing is you're taking the input from the user, you're storing it in variable m, and then you're displaying that value. So once you have done this, once you have written this script, after this what you're going to do is you're going to hit on run. Okay, so it will run your file. Now if you see in the command window, it says please enter a number, and let us say we want to enter 10. Okay. So it says that the entered number is 10. Okay, now one more thing is that here it is showing the output, so it's always a good thing to suppress the output for this input statement. So when you run it once again, let us say this time I'm entering 7, so it says that the entered number is 7. So I hope everybody is clear at this point. There is another function that you can use for displaying, that is print f. This is a more advanced function. It's not very difficult, it's obviously simple, but I'm not going to discuss this function in detail because at present, since we are beginners, I don't think you're going to use it much. But I would suggest you guys that you please search about this function, and it's not that you should only search if you're curious. I would suggest that even if you're not curious, you just search about this function and just understand what this function does and how can you make use of this function. So either you can make use of disp or either you can make use of fprintf. So the people who have done a little bit of C programming might know this function. So in C programming, that function is actually printf, but in MATLAB that is fprintf. Okay. So I hope this input output thing is clear to all of you guys. So how you are going to take the input from the user, you're going to store it in some variable, and then you're going to output. So obviously this example is a very trivial example, the example that I gave it to you. In real life you will be doing much more than that. Okay, much more sophisticated programs. You'll be using these functions in much more sophisticated programs. So don't be in a wrong perception, or don't be in a misconception that you're just going to make use of these functions for like this simple things. You can make use it for more advanced things. This is just I'm demonstrating you how you can make use of these functions.